Okay, let's see what we got here. We're going to try out these DiRoots plugins with this new file. So this new file basically is just the our tried and true Autodesk hospital. There's no links in it. I've just put it into an empty template, and yeah, more or less we're going to see what we can do as far as some coordination procedures here. I'm just going to kind of talk to myself as we run through it. So first thing I want to do, I guess, is get some coordination plans that I can take a look at this thing in plan view. So I'm going to go up to my view tab and click on plan views, and I'm just going to choose floor plan. So I have my coordination plans and all the other plan view types already defined in this template. And that's why I wasn't actually working on this project in its current status. I wanted to actually break down the work sets and get it into my process. So by linking this file in and binding a link, I'm able to keep the levels from the linked project and then create these coordination plans as I like them to look. So this is interesting, something to bear in mind. I go from level 7 to 7A to 16, so maybe there's something that we want to take a look at in here first. Let's just go see. Okay, yeah, so level 16 is probably better described as an unnecessary level. So let's just delete that. That doesn't really seem to do much for us. I didn't get any warnings saying, you know, I'm gonna lose this or lose that, so it wasn't really doing anything. Interesting that there's no datum for these guys. Anyway, not something that we're really interested in for the time being. But it looks like I've got one of these guys that's a little bit off. Okay, we're using a different family here for some reason. So let's just say select all. Yeah, change that to a 1/4 inch. Got a bit of a mix here. You'll notice that these ones aren't in line. They're not set to a scope box. So that's something that is pretty important. This one is. So if I uncheck that, this guy should come back here with the rest of them. And when you look at these in 3D, you don't see this, but if we switch over to a section view, we probably see the 2D toggle on here because we've used the scope box. So what I actually want to do is test drive these DiRoots plugins, which I've installed over here. And there is a plugin called Family Revisor. And in here, they've got this tab called Worksets. So I have taken a look at some of these other features, really powerful, really cool. And I've definitely been recommending them to people in my network. But this is the one that I haven't had a chance to really get at, and one that I feel is huge, because a lot of people do this with Dynamo scripts, but if they don't, they go through a manual process with predefined 3D views, and it can be time consuming on large projects. So what I want to do is just give this a shot and see how fast this goes. So we've got some radial buttons here to determine what we're actually getting in our list by the looks of it. So whole model, active view. Looking at my slider here to see if that changes. Get my blue donut for a little bit. And it looks like it got a little bit longer. And then current selection, if I switch this one out, this list should just go empty because I don't believe I've got anything selected. Interesting. Get a bit of a glitch as it ramps up on my video card. Okay, but what I'm going to start doing here is just taking a look at these things. So if I scroll down, I can see the family name in one column, which I guess you can use to sort by clicking on it. So that's great. We'll sort by family name. And then over here on the far side, you can see an instance count for all of these. Would be interesting to see a category name here too. I think if you could sort by category, that would be kind of helpful. But that's probably what we are doing over here. So let's see. This is really chugging away. I should maybe save this guy first. Okay, I'm gonna go back, file, save as project, and let's just call this V21 Workset test. I probably should be closing Outlook for this. It's a bit of a hog, and I've got Teams open as well. All right, let's try this again. Let's just give that a quick sync. Okay. So again, the tool was Family Revisor. We're going over to the Workset tab. It's going to do a count on everything in the project. And then let's get into some of these filter options. Okay, so filter by. Here's our categories. Perfect. So if I uncheck all, now I can go in here and just kind of go to, okay, perfect. So if I click on walls, I can see each instant. Okay, this is great. So exterior, I guess you can know right from the type name here what you're going to do for that one. So these could all go to building envelope. Okay. And then interiors. Curtain wall. I'm not sure about that one yet, so let's just wait. Exterior glazing. Profile it. Normally broken. Storefront ribbon. Let's take the chance. Okay, cool. Let's see. Apply. It gives us a little status update as it does what it needs to do. And again, I think this is probably going a little slower than what it should because of what I've got open going on my screen here. But looking at the numbers, the counts on this, like 790 interior partitions, 132 of those metal panel. This is doing a lot of work for me very quickly, because when you think about the curtain wall, it's actually doing the curtain wall, but all the panels and the mullions that would be associated with that as well. So that's quite a bit of geometry. So I guess you would want to maybe get up and go make yourself a coffee, but still, that was a lot of work that just happened quite quickly. Based on this whole list too, I think you could get a lot done. Like a lot of these are rooms, so that's a pretty long a long list. Let me try something here. Let's go back up, uncheck all, and let's just go to rooms. So here are all the rooms. Now, can I grab this entire list with a shift select? Yes. And can I apply that all to area and room boundaries? Okay, that's a lot. Let's see how long that takes. I like this list here at the bottom too. It's saying total number of elements found 198. 198 rooms that we just moved over to the right workset. Now we do all the same, so for scope boxes and reference planes, we put those onto a specific one. Nurse stations. Okay. So I'm starting to see here now, you probably just go down the list and do shift select on a whole lot of these. Let's put that in there. It's probably room separation lines or something to that effect. Model groups. Okay, so let's push this through and see the impact here on our model. We didn't do a whole lot, so I'm going to have probably a whole bunch of stuff on workset 1 here. Alright, so let's take a look. So I'll suspend my view template for the time being and go to my visibility graphics. I'm just hitting VV to call that up. And then I'm going to go to worksets here. The only one that I don't have on is travel distance and fire separation. Why don't I just go ahead? I'm going to shut off area and room boundaries because the model lines would have shown up. And I'll shut off building envelope. Let's see what we get. Okay, interesting. What are these? These are all actually windows. We got one big mass. Change that. Workset. And I'm going to hide this guy. This is probably going to make everything disappear. Oh. Mass 1. Resources. Hold on. Workset 1. Yeah, let's show this for now. Model resources hide. Okay. So the original process would be something more like this, where you would select a group or an array, and this is all on workset 1. If I hit select all instances, you can see I get all of them. So then I would put this to I don't know, like a specialty equipment, or find the right workset for this. Do I have one for equipment? Interesting, I thought I did. Okay. Well, why not? Let's go do that. So I'll go to collaborate, click on worksets and bring up that. And I'm going to create a new one and call this equipment. Now, I would say let's, one thing that I've always kind of said is don't duplicate a category with a work set. So why would I have a furniture work set? Well, because maybe I'm going to put furniture and furniture systems on that, or perhaps there's something else that I want to put on that work set that is like model lines or something I need to group it. So you may want to do this. But I guess the work sets and what they do, what they're for, is kind of another topic altogether. This is kind of just like, how do we manage these things? So now that I've got that work set, it says, do you want to make it active? Sure. But I can select these photovoltaic panels now and switch them over to that work set easily enough. And the way that you would do this manually is kind of a little bit tedious. You would turn off all of your work sets except for the one that contains the geometry from the link. So for instance, I would go to work sets, say select all, and then make sure that they're all set to hide, and then select none. And I know that everything was brought in on work set 1. So if I show this one, this is going to be the remnants of what needs to be fixed, right? So a lot of this can happen, of course, pretty quick. If you select one, you see it's a ceiling, then I would select all instances and then push those to my interior layouts and finishes. And because I've shut that off in the visibility graphics dialog box, those should all disappear momentarily. Okay, so I guess it can happen pretty quick, but when you get into large models, there's lots of different types employed. That DiRoots plugin does seem to be pretty handy. No, that's interesting. Just how long that's taking to move all of those from one work set to another. Because there's 428 of them, so it's a bit of computation. Oh, and by the looks of it, we never ended up creating those plan views either. Okay, grass roof. That could go on an envelope as well. Let's see how fast we can get some of these other ones in comparison. So let's go back to DiRoots. Let's go with Family Revisor. See if we can't take care of the rest of this, how quickly it goes. Okay, so I'm going to filter out some specific ones. I want to see windows. I want to see stairs, specialty equipment. Rooms we've already done. Let's do roofs, railings, plumbing fixtures. Okay, let's start with this for now. That sounds like a pretty good list. Okay, so storefront. I'm not even really sure what that is. Let's come back to this after. Okay, so this is probably specialty equipment. So find our new one here. Furniture. Plumbing fixtures. Railings. Vertical circulation. Roof. We're going to put on building envelope. Stall panel. See, here's one. So stall door, stall panel. I'm not sure what this category is, but I'm going to put it onto interior finishes. Stair. I get the feeling that these are windows now that I've come to see them a little bit better. Oh, this list just got much larger. Huh, I wonder if that was populating that whole time. Okay, open and cut. names. This got reset. That's interesting. That's a little glitchy. Say casework, good. Ceilings, all good. See these ones here. I like it. This is great. Yeah. Apply. So what we've done here, I should start seeing these things disappear. And what's interesting is that it looks like it's actually doing the selections and the applications that I did here before. Even though I filtered them out of the list, it's doing plumbing fixtures here now. So all in all, I'm really happy with this plugin. I think that the value that these guys have provided with these tools is pretty significant. The other one that's kind of great out right now is Table Gen, and DiRoots, thank you for this. This is a really powerful tool. A whole set of tools. If you guys haven't looked at these, definitely go to their website, take a look. Just this one family revisor has been a real jaw dropper for me. I was pretty impressed with it when I first took a look. Okay, let's see what's happened with our review here now. So a lot less going on, and yeah, I'm thinking that you start looking at these now, single flush. Select all instances. That's gonna go to the interiors pretty quick. Start getting some of those to disappear. Real cool. Okay, well, I'm convinced I like this tool for more than just those other ones. So again, that's the DiRoots Workset tab on the Family Revisor plugin. Super cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.